meeting as Africans in a very beautiful capital of this continent. We are talking about making secure, inclusive and innovative digital economies in our continent.
I think it's a very worthy forum because it gives that environment where multi-stakeholders are able to partake in discussions that relate to policy issues on the internet.
Today we're dealing with the underlying internet governance issues of data governance, and of course even today and already starting last year we were beginning to look at the challenges around governing artificial intelligence.
I think it's very instructive in terms of the theme for the conference. We are looking at almost half of the population that needs to come into the digital landscape in the first place. But also we're looking at opportunities for Africans. We're looking at Africa's youth population and how that can transform into progress, into prosperity for us leveraging digital technology.
The internet is designed in a way that all of us can use it, all of us can contribute to it, and all of us can benefit from it.
We are in the fourth industrial revolution. Governments are looking into technology to solve our problems or to provide better services.
I'm really excited about the conversation this morning, and I hope that in this conversation we'll be able to talk about the work we are doing in terms of how mitigating the impact or the abuse or the misuse of these technologies, and also probably come up with new ideas in terms of how to advance the work, especially in terms of how this technology negatively impact civic liberties, how this technology affects groups that are already disadvantaged, minorities, disadvantaged groups, etc. So it's a conversation that we are positively looking forward to.
This meeting regularly is putting governments who want to oppress, lock down the internet, shut it down and so forth, to be put on the spot, So without the Internet Governance Forum, perhaps governments would continue to be shutting down internet and do just as they like.
The lawful interception of communication regulations is unlawful. I mean, it's unconstitutional. Bypass the legislative process to go and develop a regulation that enables you to infringe on people's constitutional right, and then you say it is lawful.
There are some federating units, however, who unfortunately still go ahead, get this technology with or without this approval. So we can talk about systems that we put in place, and we can talk about the enforcement mechanism, which in most cases are still very weak. But I also think that we can look at the positive, which is the fact that something is being done, and then focus on how to improve on what is being done.
When there are issues like this, you can actually challenge it. No one is stopping you from instituting an action in a court of law, challenging the legality of this regulation.
There are a lot of actors that are involved in this surveillance activity. It's not limited to the state alone. And when you don't have a strong system of protection, it also allows proliferation of surveillance capabilities.
One challenge is about making the internet safe for everybody. Right now, a number of African governments indulge in digital surveillance. We know gig workers are subjected to workplace surveillance. These are all unhealthy practices.
Within the regulatory landscape, we also must set standards. There's a saying that where there is no law, there is no sin. So you really can't hold people accountable when you have not created a standard. So I think generally in Africa, we are still trying to catch up with setting AI policies, regulation and systems in place that can be like the rule book for organizations that are deploying AI systems.
We're moving into the cloud, we're moving digitally. IP comes into play. And when you hear IP, that's security challenges. It comes with security challenges.
It's very important to have lawmakers have this at the back of their mind, cybersecurity awareness. First of all, if you do not even understand the issue, it's impossible to make laws that will become implementable and then effective in addressing these issues.
The Internet Governance Forum has been instrumental in bringing a multi-stakeholder community together to look at issues relating to the Internet and finding how best to address these issues, to solve the challenges, and basically make the Internet something that is useful, trusted, and an opportunity for as wide a section of our society as possible.
there's still issues that affect how people are able to meaningfully tap into connectivity.
The rural and urban gap that it has, it should not have that. Whether you live in the rural areas or live in the urban areas, there should not be a gap when we talk about meaningful connectivity.
For us, what we can call meaningful connectivity with the communities we are working with is any form of connectivity that can help them meet their immediate need.
Well, I think nobody can challenge the idea that our biggest challenge remains digital inequality. We still have more than half the continent who aren't online, who do not have access to the internet.
The internet is actually not about government, so it's about governance. And so governance really is focused on things like performance, things like freedoms, and what we want is to be able to have freedom of expression, but also freedom after the expression.
All human beings are born free and equal. So there is the human dignity, the social dignity, the economic dignity, but there is also the cultural dignity. So for me, to be able to have my family online, to be able to monitor things, do my banking, my shopping, these are very important.